Welcome to the Grappling Grappling Rewind Podcast.
Welcome to this week on the Grappling Rewind Podcast. On this week's show, we are going to recap the UFC BJJ 5, the Bantamweight bout between Mikey Musumeci and Shay Montague. We are also going to recap the ADCC European trials, the second European and African trials for ADCC, the final one for that region. As always in the show, I'm your host, Maine, which is my co-host,
Miranda.
Hey, Miranda.
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Been horrendously ill the last couple of days, but finally passed it. So we are here. And very happy to not have to do the show remote as a result.
Yes.
So I got to watch all of this twice, once in delusion and then another time with some fresh eyes. Take some good notes. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's fun to watch jiu-jitsu in a delusion.
It was great to just talk with the chat and complain a lot about a lot of things. But then watch it again. I was like, it wasn't that bad. So, Miranda, where do you want to start first? There's not a lot of news this week other than Gordon Ryan has retired again for I legitimately think this is like the fifth retirement.
I think so too.
Reasonably.
He says he's really done this time.
In all honesty, we knew that when he kind of publicly came out about the timeline for his career and the steroids in his career.
Yeah. Which
was like, okay, that's what you do when you retire. I appreciated it. Honestly, appreciate the clarity. I also think this is coming out because ADCC is now starting to put out like lineups for who's been invited and we're now through a bunch of both trials for Europe and Africa. We're through the first American trials and North American trials, like Asian trials, Oceanic trials. Like we've got enough people now where it's like, okay, if you're not going to defend the super fight or potentially go back to 99 again, like what are we going to do with your slots? And so I do appreciate that he's making it very clear, yep, I'm retired. So now we can look to actually fill like, okay, who's going to be in the super fight versus Kynan? Like, okay, who are we going to fill in at plus 99 that was going to take your spot as the champion? I appreciate that we're not going to like twiddle our thumbs for 6 more months and then a month before these major cards on the event. So then, who's actually retired now and put a guy in last minute. We have time to not announce like Duarte back in the division and put him in the super fight. So I appreciate that. That is the only news, but it's really not even new news. It's sort of just like clarifying something that was already clarified
pretty much
before.
Yeah.
But in other news, there's really no other news, right?
No, not really. I don't think anything's happened.
All right, so where do you want to start? Want to start UFC BJJ 5, or do you want to start with Asian Oceanic trials, the second European trials, this time with a women's qualifier?
Let's start with UFC BJJ.
UFC BJJ 5, it might be kind of quick. So we were originally, when we were scheduling out the shows, we were going to do, let's do UFC BJJ 5 because it happened earlier in the week. We'll cover that this week's show. And then the following week, we'll do the preview for the GP, and we'll do Asian and Oceanic trials. UFC BJJ finished, and we went, we'll probably just do trials as well.
Yeah, and it was all out by yesterday afternoon, so I sat and watched them, and it was pretty fast.
This was definitely the weakest UFC BJJ card that they've had, just from like performance perspective and just from a kind of like an entertaining matches perspective, unfortunately. The matchmaking wasn't necessarily bad. It just wasn't super exciting. This is like, the whole card felt like a setup card, like a fight night card. What the fight night cards for like UFC used to be like, where it's like, okay, you build your guys up, and then, but you even had 2 title fights on the card. You had both Mikey Musumeci and you had Ronaldo Junior in his first defense.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? I don't want to just complain about the card. Let's talk about the card. Let's talk about the action.
We can talk about Mikey's match with Shay Montague.
I thought you were going to. Are you going to?
It took me a second.
Footlock in the second round.
Yeah.
Pretty much the first footlock that Mikey goes for. This was a weird one. I liked the matchup. I think the matchup was good. I think Shay has been on a really good rise recently, world titles, and has really shown that he is on the level on the world stage. This match essentially went how we kind of thought. We talked about it last week. It went a little differently than we talked about it last week, but as soon as they kind of matched up, it was Shay on the bottom, and then playing the roosterweight game. Yeah. Knees to chest. Pushing off Mikey, presenting some problems for Mikey, passing. And then the first round ends with not a whole lot of anything happening. And Shay comes back to his corner, camera's right on him, and he goes, I think I tore something in my upper leg, which I don't know much about the body.
It's probably a quad.
Yeah,
maybe.
which is like a major, like nothing in your upper leg.
Hamstring, maybe.
nothing in your upper leg is good to be torn versus Mikey Musumeci, especially a guy that you're going to need all the flexibility that Shay has to retain your guard, especially like in the way that Shay does it. A lot of the way that Shay has been so successful, like feather and rooster weight and bantamweight here, has been the flexibility that he has. And because he's just so difficult to pass, you're forced to get really, really close to him, stay over him, and give him entries into what he wants. Mikey does a great job in the first round of really preventing Shay from ever being able to like enter in really on anything. He never gets a triangle going. He never gets into the feet for any length. He never gets Mikey into a range that he can work and do anything off of because Mikey is so diligent about controlling the space, forcing Shay to just regard. And his corner asked a good question when Shay came back to the corner that was, basically, was it something Mikey did, or was it just on like he called like the regard?
Yeah.
No, not regard. He said it was on the retain.
Retain.
Which I thought was a funny way to say that. And Shay was like retain, so it was like Shay tore it while he was retaining his guard versus Mikey, which is like a weird. When you look at the context of this match, for me, when you kind of think back on like guys' careers, it kind of makes me wonder. It's like, well, you got injured during the match because Mikey was trying to pass, but not anything weird was happening. It just seems like one of those like fluke freak injuries where it was like,
well, and it could just be that something else is tight. Yeah. And you didn't warm up as well as you should have, and or
you've been training hard and leading up to a big matchup. Yeah.
I've torn hamstrings, and they're not.
Oh, you were messed up for a while with that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
You complained, and you were going to PT, and like, it was a while. I remember that. It was a couple years ago.
It sucked, yeah.
So the second round happens. We kind of, the context of the second round, it makes me question. Mikey gets around Shay's guard in the second round. And I went, nothing about how Mikey was passing or how really Shay was retaining changed. It seemed like that Mikey just went, okay, you're a rooster weight or a light featherweight where it plays the super heavy inversion game that I've seen before. I have to get in front of your hips with my arm. He collapses the legs down exactly like you do, and then he basically bars his arm in front of the hips and the legs so that when Shay goes to move his hips and body and basically get the knees back in front, he can't because you can force their thighs away with your arm and pass the north-south. Yeah. Mikey does that. He settles. I was like, okay, Mikey has good top position. Mikey goes to continue to score, goes to knee on belly, goes to mount, and then Shay goes, absolutely not. Yeah. And then as soon as there is a little bit of space as Mikey goes to mount, Shay's got his legs back in. I was like, okay, that was to be expected. I was kind of curious why Mikey decided to try to go to mount with a guy like Shay.
It could have been also to see what his reaction was, like how he pulls his feet up.
Yeah.
Because if he's going to go for a footlock in the long run, he probably wants to see how he at what point he starts pulling his legs in to do stuff.
Timing thing?
Yeah, so then you could jump, whatever.
I didn't think about that. I thought it was like a tactical error on Mikey's side, but actually like as an information gathering tool makes actually a lot more sense.
It could be a timing thing because if you're going to go after that, you don't really want to get it when he's all like crunched up. You want to get it.
It's coming.
Yeah, you want to get it in
the transition of like as he's pulling his leg back.
Yeah.
That's really. I didn't think about it that way until you just said that. That is probably the correct answer, given that Mikey is not a guy that is super reactive. Yeah. So yeah, he usually does beat guys in their own transitions. So that makes a lot of sense.
As a smaller person, that's kind of how you have to live your life.
I'm not going to gun you most of the time. I'm going to get you when you're moving something around. Then a little bit later in the match, Mikey drops back for a leg. Essentially like a very, not outside 50-50, but like very similar to that outside 50-50 position, but the leg is sort of in the middle of the thigh instead of over the thigh, and gets a heel hook. Nothing crazy. I'm not sure if this is the hurt leg for Shay or not. I don't know if that played a factor. It's not a bad heel hook. It's a fine heel hook. Shay taps at an appropriate time. Yeah. And that's the match.
You have to kind of watch after the match to get a good view of what actually happened. Yeah, because the first image they have is it's like the other side of the guys, and they have an aerial view that's okay, and then they have like a side shot view that's much, much better. I wish, again, that they would have had on the initial broadcast, they would have had the right angle, but, it's not, it could have been worse. What are your thoughts here? Who do you give
Mikey because Jalen's not going to face him.
Yeah.
Because I said that last week. Or sorry, I said that he was going to face him, then I got called out I think by Corey in our chat. Like, hey, man, Corey Jalen said specifically he wasn't going to face Mikey.
Yeah, because they train together.
Yeah.
You can't bring Harrison back because Harrison's already lost to him.
Right, and that was pretty definitive.
Yeah.
But Beto just lost in this card.
Yeah.
But also, then again, Jalen beat Beto, and Jalen's not going to face him. He's in a weird spot. Dude, make the Cade matchup.
Yeah.
They could never get Cade out of 1, but like it would be nifty at 45. So I don't know. It's food for thought. But overall, again, Mikey just extremely dominant against top level competition. Like Shay was supposed to be like a really good test and a benchmark.
Yeah.
Like Shay is one of the better guys at the weight in the world by the competition results. Not even by the rankings, but like just what he's won. And Mikey still submits him in the second round.
Maybe like a Baby Shark or something like that.
Ooh, I would watch it. But Baby Shark's in 1 now. Baby Shark's the champion of 1.
Yeah, so then you can't do Baby Shark.
Yeah. Give him can you give him Pato? Pato's big.
Yeah,
Pato's 45-55.
Pato is Pato that big?
I mean, he's 45-55.
Yeah.
This is 35. I don't think Pato's making 35.
No.
I'm thinking Pato's cutting hard to make 45.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell he's making 35. That's the question. I was like,
I'm trying to think like who's a smaller guy that has been really good.
Who won trials? I mean, again, I'm thinking even at like 66 kilos, you're still 10 pounds away.
Yeah.
You're still 5 kilos away from 135.
So you almost
that's the problem.
You almost have to go with the guys. Maybe how big is Levi Jones Leary?
185.
Oh, he's really big.
He's went against Asari
Oh yeah.
for the middleweight title.
I always think he's little. I don't know why.
I think Asari.
I don't know why.
50 pounds bigger than Mikey.
Then no Levi Jones Leary.
I mean, it's not a bad.
I'm trying to think.
I'm
trying to think of like who
for Ronaldo. It's a good match.
Who generally doesn't do trials because they say they're too small for the division.
There's just like from the U.S. side, there's not. I mean, you can. You're looking for a guy that's like Esteban Martinez size, but Esteban Martinez is still a 45er. He's still a guy at 66 kilos. Like it's weird because we don't have a lot of tournaments in the U.S. that are.
No, you almost have to go
60 kilos.
You almost have to go into like the Asian,
Asian
market because they have all the smaller fighters.
Mm-hmm. It's weird.
Like that's why ONE FC has such a large like breadth of
guys at that weight
guys
class.
at like 25, 40, 35.
Yeah, it's really interesting because all of the big names. I'm trying to think of like who you would put him in there with, and it's like they're all guys at 66 kilos, and it's like, yeah, that's 10 pounds above him.
Helena Cravar.
Helena Cravar's not making 135.
I'm just kidding.
She's making 145.
I'm just kidding.
I'd watch it. Another intergender match for the ages.
I was just thinking of random people that
no
one can beat.
Cravar, even Cravar is too big.
That no one can beat.
Man, Adele is like closer to Mikey's size.
Yeah.
Watch the hell of that match too. So yeah, we'll work on it. But Mikey's in a weird. He's been in a weird spot since he beat Bruno at Worlds.
Yeah.
For the 4th world title. Like he's just so good at the weight, and no one can really contend with him most of the time.
Yeah.
So, anything else on this one?
Nope.
Let's move on to the middleweight title. First defense of Ronaldo Junior versus Tarik Hopstock. Takes a pretty clean decision, 30-27, and then for one card, and then both other cards, 29-28.
Tarik tries. You can't say that he doesn't try.
And that's not even like a disparaging way. That's just like he tries, and then
Ronaldo wasn't really able to pass Tarik's guard. Like he really couldn't do anything with Tarik, and Tarik just kind of
couldn't do anything with him.
Tarik didn't have the strength, it seemed, to really do anything with Ronaldo, and then Ronaldo didn't really push hard enough to really open himself up so that Tarik could go after him because he knew he didn't have to. So all he had to do was kind of
stay on top and keep kind of trying to top pressure pass.
Yeah,
that's the match. I honestly think this is one of the ones where we kind of cut it here. I don't have much else to say. It was not really an impressive match for either guy.
Ronaldo said he was sick the week before.
Yeah,
and was in the hospital.
Which maybe makes this performance make a little more sense.
Said that's why he didn't put up the pressure. He wasn't expecting to put up the same pressure in this match as he normally does.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that was...
I don't know, man. It was...
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Tarik Hopstock. Tarik Hopstock's very good. Yeah. Ronaldo should have been able to do more in this match. Again, if he was very, very sick, it's more understandable. But it was like, this is a weird performance for the champion. And like, yep, it's a clean, unanimous decision. Ronaldo Junior, I think you gotta bump up who you put him against.
Yeah.
And you gotta give him a guy that's really going to, again, like Hopstock. Like a guy that is going to throw more offense, like a William Tackett.
Yeah.
But William Tackett got exhausted in their match. Like guys in that same vein, or I think more so than not, you're going to get this kind of performance out of Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because it was not a very exciting match.
Or you have to get somebody who's like freakishly strong for 185.
Yeah. Like Hulk. But Hulk's even 170, so it's like Hulk's a little smaller than that.
They're both technically from the same gym, so I don't know if
good point.
Like
they were.
They were, and I don't know if they would go against each other or not. But
dog, give him Levi. Give him Levi.
Yeah, but that's gonna be
give him Asari. Give him just give him a guy that's gonna try to gun him a little bit. You know, give him who just won European trials at give it Taylor Perriman.
Yeah,
that's like a guy like that just gonna gun for him. Again, this was not a fun match. It was, again, a clear decision for Ronaldo, but it was not exciting.
Yeah.
Next match. Anything else?
Nope.
Are you good? Next match, the return of Nicholas Meregali defeating Nicholas Maglicic. They
called Nicholas Maglicic Nico.
Nico.
Which made it a lot easier because then it was
Nicholas and Nicholas.
And Nico.
Yeah, Nico. Meregali, this to me was not one of Meregali's greatest performances, but it is understandable given you have been off any level of competition and like a year off of training, essentially. You're off for a year and a half. Yeah. This makes sense. I think
he said that he wasn't used to the pacing. Mm-hmm. That the pacing was something that he had competed so much for so long that he just didn't kind of remember the pacing
also,
that it is.
Is this the first 3-round match Meregali has ever had?
Probably.
Yeah, so it's like that is an interesting kind of dynamic as well, where it's like you've gone your entire career.
I mean, he's probably done 3 matches back to back.
But not with no break.
Yeah, IBJJF will give you like at least 5 minutes between
as
each.
As an adult, 10.
Yeah,
you
10.
have a division.
Yeah, you would have 10. You would have 10 minutes between each.
You know,
round.
in a tournament, you're going to have way more time usually. So it is an interesting kind of fold. That's what this looked like. It was a lot of like, this looked kind of close. And then Meregali, I forget which round. I think the 3rd round and the 2nd round. Because Nico arguably wins one of the rounds.
Yeah.
Because there's just so little that happens. And he's able to get, I think, part of a takedown. And then he just does more work.
Yeah.
And then once Meregali gets past, you see Meregali just put up numbers. Yeah. Essentially of like, oh yeah, this is one-way traffic. This is like not the submission hunter Meregali that we had in 2018. It was one of those years that Josh and I were doing the show. And we had an insane stat that was, if Meregali, it was a year that Meregali won Worlds or something. Yeah. Or he had amazing performances. If he won by submission. Every single person he beat that year, he beat by submission. And he didn't win every match, but he won most of his matches. And I was curious. I was like, okay, Meregali's not quite that guy anymore.
He still has the one sweep he does. The lasso kind of butterfly. It's not really butterfly because you kind of go straight up the middle.
Almost like a balloon sweep, almost.
Yeah,
kind of.
That one he still has on point, which is one of my favorites.
Meregali looked rusty. He didn't look bad. No. He just looked rusty, and I think that's to be expected, man. Yeah. You had a bunch of surgeries. You came off. I would have liked to see him less rusty. I would have liked to see more from him, but it's understandable.
Who does he train with that's really going to go like hard at it?
I assume everyone at Kingsway.
I don't know, but are you actually going to do it?
Are you going to try to fuck with Meregali?
Yeah.
I assume in that
room, that room, is that a room where you're going to try that, or are you going to be a little, I
don't know. All the training we hear about, at least all the training I have had, but this is also like from the DDS days.
Yeah.
Is like the guys go super hard but also like in a safe way.
Okay.
And like that's but again, that's also 8 years ago or
Yeah.
7 or 6 years ago of like how they used training before they were even new, or they were even when they were DDS squad Puerto Rico. Like that was my understanding. They went really hard, but it was a pretty safe room.
Yeah.
So I assume that is like still the case with the level Meregali is. I assume people go as hard as they can against Meregali. So it was weird, but those flashes of that Meregali brilliance of like when he got on top and he just suffocating pressure, like putting pressure. Nicholas did a great job of like not giving his back up for prolonged periods of time and really defending well. And seeing Meregali deal with the bull was interesting.
Yeah.
Because that seemed to throw him off a little bit. Because again, he's probably never grappled at a bull.
Yeah.
So again, it's one of the things I think we kind of forget about sometimes with Meregali is although he's like a world beater, not that experienced in nogi.
Yeah, true.
And never had a 3-round match.
True.
And never been to bowl.
True.
He's never done like CJI, never done pit submission, never done ground combat, like none of that. So a lot of new stuff after a 1.5-year layoff and major surgeries and not training like he has his entire career.
And a last minute match.
Yeah.
Sort of. Who knows how long everybody knew this was about to
it was
happen.
probably in the works, but didn't get announced.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to change your camp until it's announced.
Yeah.
So, I don't have a ton more here either. It was good to see Meregali didn't look terrible.
And it was flashes of his yesteryear, abilities. It just wasn't the
overwhelming, just like killing everyone.
Yeah.
So I think this is good. I want to see Meregali back in. I want to see Meregali back in sooner than later because I'm curious if this is the new kind of pacing and like style of Meregali, or if we're going to see him kind of knock off the rust and return to his old form come ADCC again, because it wouldn't surprise me to see him get another invite to ADCC given the weirdness of his last time of like getting thrown by Pixie, blowing his shoulder out for like, and then getting darsed.
Yeah.
Which again, now we know, your shoulder was destroyed in that throw, which again, maybe don't post, but I don't have much more on this.
Nope.
Next one, we got Andy Murasaki defeating Andy Varela. Armbar at 4 minutes and 32 seconds of the first round. My biggest question here is, where is Andy Varela at? Because this is the second performance we've seen him on UFC BJJ in a row where he has just looked.
Is it in a row?
Off. He had the match, was it Kyle Chambers? Where he just, one of the matches he had recently in the pit or in the bowl, or whatever they want to call it now at UFC, where he just looked like, he didn't look like he was trying to finish the match. And we were kind of curious about like what was going on and why he was playing this way. And it was like, we had a bunch of these questions of.
So, they don't have him.
Really?
No, they have them, but it's like they.
Out of order?
Yeah, they just have them as.
By year.
They just have them by year.
I wish BJJ Heroes would like line stuff up like Topology and give me a little more date information for those matches. So here we go.
He won. Okay. He was in UFC, so there's that one too.
Because he had the Tackett match.
He won against Daniel Sattler. He won that.
Yep.
He won against Robbie Malov.
Yeah.
Malot. It says Malov.
Is it Maloff?
Malof.
Maloff. I think is what it was.
He won that.
Maybe that was the weird one. He's had 2 or 3 weird matches.
He went against Dave Zasari, but that was in the UFC BJJ like house thing.
Oh yeah.
And then Nathan Haddad, and that was also in the Road to UFC BJJ thing. I think those 2 matches were
earlier in the year.
And then he went against Tackett and lost to Tackett.
Yeah. Since the Tackett match, he has had some performances that do not strike me like classic Andy Varela matches where he has been tentative. He has sort of been on the outside. He has been waiting. He has not been aggressive. He's been aggressive in the way that we know Andy Varela to be aggressive, where he's collar tying you, he's hitting you, he's trying to get in your head, he's trying to get in your face. But it seems like when that doesn't work, and it didn't work on Murasaki, didn't work on Tackett, and it didn't really work on maybe Maloff. I don't know who it was. He just pulls the activity way down, and then never ramps it back up. He gets called here for stalling, essentially by the ref. Like, hey man, you got to engage and do something. And then Murasaki's there on the bottom. and then throws a beautiful like cross-side armbar from the bottom over to belly down. Like a beautiful setup for it, but just...
And everybody said that he held it, but if you look at him, he's not like... When he goes belly down, he kind of had to because of where he was located at. And he wasn't like hips down, belly down.
This looked fine to me. There's been some guys, even on the team, Grappling Run, that were like, I was long. I was like, I don't think it was long.
I don't think it was long.
Fine.
I think he had it, and he tapped, and after he tapped, like, he had to go to that position to get out of it. And he wasn't like hips to the mat. Like,
you're not dropping down on it. Like, I don't know. This seemed like a very fine, high-level sub. For like the distance he held. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with the length of time that he had this.
No,
it was fine
and the tap is, and it's like I wouldn't say it's a weird tap, but it's like one of those taps where you're like, did he tap, or is he just trying to get his is he trying to kind of fight out of it?
It's a pro match, man, and he does. Like, I think this is perfectly fine. I think Varela taps in a perfectly acceptable way, and Murasaki lets go in a perfectly acceptable time.
Yeah,
I think from what I saw, I think from what you saw too. It's a neat armbar. It's really cool. But again, we know how good Andy Murasaki is. For me, this is just it kind of calls back into question, like, where is Andy Varela at? Because...
But also, I mean, Andy Murasaki, the only reason that we saw him lose
is because it was
Tynan. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You're losing to Tynan and Mika Gavao.
It wasn't that he was ever losing to people that were, you know...
Not the best guys in the division, hands down.
I think we're also kind of second guessing or kind of acting like Andy's not as good as he actually is.
I think my big X factor here is, like, I think 2 years ago, the Varela that would have come at Andy Murasaki would have been way different here.
Yeah.
And I think potentially he would have had more success with his old strategy. And it is just odd to see him this late in his career so drastically shift the tempo and the strategy that he had down, and then have like commanding losses to like Tackett and now Murasaki. Like, just have these performances back to back and also be a different guy now. So it's just odd. We've known Murasaki was good. Again, you're not losing anyone except like the upper echelon, top of the heap. I'm kind of curious where they take Murasaki here for UFC BJJ. They're probably not going to introduce a new division super quickly.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't be necessarily a bad idea. I think this is Murasaki's debut, right?
I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember. I think so, but I think that's wrong.
It is very hard to keep that.
He hasn't done a lot of no-gi, right? Andy Murasaki.
I'm going to talk out of my ass here. I don't know offhand. We have not seen him in ADCC, which is the big like pro no-gi side of things. But again, it was a good armbar. It was a really, really nice finish. Murasaki finishes it quick, gets down. I want to see more. I want to see him back up on UFC again quickly. I don't know who you give him. Tackett's at 170.
Yeah.
Do you give him Tackett immediately?
I mean, you can.
I'm down for that match. Yeah, I'll watch. I don't know what I was thinking about earlier. I'll absolutely watch him versus Andrew Tackett. That's a super good match. And if he looked like this versus Varela, yeah, man, give him the champ and see how he does.
He was on UFC BJJ 3. He got a Kimura. Chris Olio.
Yeah. Olivo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
But besides that, I think that was his first no-gi match or his first professional no-gi match.
He might have done some amateur stuff like IBJJF or something.
Well, he might have also gotten
Did he do EUG maybe back in the day?
Yeah, IBJJF no-gi Grand Prix.
Yeah,
he
but
might have done
okay,
too.
so that might have been a pro one.
But he does a lot more. I will say he does a lot more gi because when you go through his records, like European Open, IBJJF the Crown, BJJ Stars,
right,
World Championships, Pan Americans.
Give him Tackett, man. I want to see it. Andy Murasaki is exciting. I like seeing him. I think he would be a genuine threat to Tackett.
Yeah.
And I think the pairing would be interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Moving on, we got Rebecca Lima defeats Taylor Hishaw with a steamer lock in round 2. This is, I think, just a rare. I want to call this something different. I think it's just a regular steamer lock.
Yeah.
The way I'm looking at it, I want it to be like she has her hands like gripped a little differently, but I don't think it changes.
But I think
what it is.
I think that's more of I just want to hold on to your leg.
Yeah, it's like a higher Estema lock, but it's
Yeah.
still, I think, an Estema lock. I don't think there's any difference.
I think
here.
as long as you're like shoving the toes into your rib cage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In order to like toe hold them.
Like right in the center of the top there of the gut,
that is
right
an
below the breast line.
That is an Estema lock.
For me, it was a good match back and forth.
To me it was Taylor kind of. Taylor was winning a lot of the exchanges, and then Rebecca like pulls this Estema lock out.
And I was watching it in hindsight is always very, very nice, but going back and watching how Taylor on the bottom here is kind of looking for a foot lock, and she keeps her foot on the outside of 50-50.
Yeah.
And then she keeps kind of fencing it in and out and then using her outside leg to guard so she can't get counter heel hooked from the top. And then guard. And then you see her kind of keep floating her foot that's on the inside line in more. And then you see Lima kind of recognize and like, oh, moving, like, but not really show that she wants to hunt for it. And then as soon as Taylor goes to pull her foot again to kind of make more space, you see Rebecca Lima time it beautifully, grabs high on the leg, pulls it across, and then makes the turn with the body.
Yeah.
Again, kind of like old school Estema brothers used to do it. They'd hide it in the gi, they'd hide and they'd get it really, really quickly as they were going to the side or
because
up.
because you kind of have to.
Yeah.
You know?
For the Estema lock, like that's how you have to do it. Gets a tap. It was good. It was really just, again, Taylor just wasn't quite as diligent as she needed to be with the foot position for that inside foot.
You also have a purple, maybe brown belt.
I think she's brown now.
Yeah, going against a black belt who trains with
Bruno Bastos and Casio Mora.
Like there's a difference in
a lot of the level of
in a lot of the levels of you know, because Taylor wasn't really able to do her normal like I'm on top, I'm gonna just like pressure into you, I'm gonna be heavy, I'm gonna kind of
play more guard,
play a more wrestly game with you. And she wasn't really able to do that with Rebecca, and you saw that her bottom position is not as good as her or as developed as her top game.
So again, cool sub. I like to see again. We did have a decent amount of subs on the card, and again, don't see an Estema lock super frequently nowadays. So it was nice. I like what an Estema lock does. Because it immediately you see it happen and everyone goes, all right, watch my feet. And you immediately see across the entire professional sports side, people for the next like month or two are way more diligent with the foot. It's like when Johnny Grippo ripped Ellis's foot off. And everyone kind of went, right, I need to keep my feet in a place where they can't get grabbed. And I don't like to see it, but I like what it does to the diligence of the community for foot placement for the next couple of months, because everyone goes, right, you can do that at any speed in competition anytime you want.
And that's also why when somebody goes after your foot, you kick them in the chest.
Kick them in the chest, baby.
That is or you invert, but
or you kick them in the chest.
Yeah, but I normally kick them in the chest.
Yeah, you Jasmine Rocha them.
Yeah,
as my wife calls it, which is just my wife kicks me in the chest so often when we train. Like,
I do it to Nick
I'll grab
all
her
the
feet and she'll just punt me in the chest, and I'm like, hey, but she's like, but it works, and she calls it the Jasmine Rocha.
It is.
If you ever watch Jasmine Rocha compete at like trials or something, she's just kicking women in the chest constantly.
Yeah,
because it works. Moving on, we had Jonathan Gracie defeating Jan Lucas. This was another late match. I don't have a ton on this. It was clean. It was clear. 3 rounds. Jonathan Gracie. He just puts up more offense, both submission offense and positional offense than Jan Lucas. Jan Lucas never really gets anything going super well. Gracie kind of gets more going.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not. This was another kind of odd match. Do you have anything on it?
Well, yeah. This is the Jonathan Gracie with the knee problem that we had seen. We had seen him in the past at times, like kind of do this, where he kind of doesn't
slows his activity down a little bit. Yeah.
But he's training with AOJ, which
I think he's been there for a while. We went back and forth on this.
We did not know this fact, and then I started looking.
We've talked about this when he made the change.
Did we really?
I think.
And then I started looking, and like in all the pictures, he has AOJ clothes on, and he's like at AOJ, and I'm like, oh,
I think he's been there for a minute.
He said it. Oh.
And we just in our collective mindscape forgot
that he went there
like a while ago. Because for some reason I think he went around the same time that Felipe Andrew went or something like that.
That could
a while ago. But it could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Won't be the last time. So I have nothing else on this, Miranda. Do you?
No. Every once in a while we go on these tangents where we're like, oh,
because it's just so many guys and women to keep tabs on of like, hey,
and
where they're training at, what the medals are, who they're dating, where they're training.
Yeah, if you're in that California, like San Diego, LA,
you're San Diego.
like
you're a California guy.
Yeah, there's so many gyms.
They're all so good, and you're just a California world champion level guy.
You can kind of jump around.
Yeah, and they do. Moving on. You're done, right?
Yep. No.
Right. Harrison Gabriel defeats Landon Elmore via unanimous decision. Close. Again, 29-28 across the cards. This was a fun match because we've seen a little bit from Landon. We've seen this is a fun match that I called wrong, which I love. I love to be wrong about it for like the right. I love to be wrong about stuff, but for reasons I don't expect.
Okay.
Landon Elmore is a very good leg blocker. And we saw that in the first round. And the first round went exactly as we thought it was going to go. It was like Landon Elmore is going to get on Harrison Gabriel's feet, and Harrison Gabriel is going to either have to defend aggressively or get tapped out.
Yeah.
And there was like 2 or 3 different entries that Landon Elmore makes when I went, man, Harrison is like really having to defend these and like gone into like he's doing really good work and has obviously worked on his leg lock defense. Again, Landon is not the same level of leg locker that Mikey Musumeci is, but we had questions after that Mikey Musumeci match of like, how good is Harrison Gabriel's leg lock defense? Because that's what Mikey gets him with. And then Landon Elmore puts him in some deep trouble in the first round. And then I was like, okay, cool. We called it right. This is how this match is going to go. Landon Elmore's going to continue to spam footlocks, probably going to get one late. And then Harrison Gabriel comes out the second round, and I was wrong.
Yeah, he picked up, and I think it's him, and I think it's his coaching. They came up with, okay, this is how you're going to deal with this situation. And it was just...
And he just did.
Yeah.
And he just went, cool, Landon Elmore wants this and this entry. I'm going to shut down both these entries. And then Landon Elmore is phenomenal at these couple of spaces, but I'm a veteran, and I'm just not going to let him get to where he wants to get to, tire him out a little bit, and then I'm just going to win with good, solid jiu-jitsu. And then that's the second round. I was like, okay, cool.
And I also wonder if this is also a better division for him.
45?
If he was...
He looked bigger.
If he was cutting to make the 35.
Because I think this is... They said... Sorry, you go.
No, and it was... Maybe 45 is just a bigger size for him.
The commentary staff was talking about it, and they brought up like, oh, he's put on some mass. And I mean, again, he looked significantly bigger than he looked versus the Mikey match. He also didn't look like bad. He looked like a comfortable professional athlete weight at 45, and at 35, at least then a year ago, he looked a little sucked out.
Yeah.
And I think you potentially could be right about that. I think historically Harrison's been at Rooster or at Light Feather, so I don't think historically he's been that heavy.
At 64 kilos, 141.
Okay, so that's not that. I mean, it's if you're competing at that, you're probably walking around at
150.
Man, lower than that, bro. I mean, it depends with the
145?
gi. With the gi,
oh.
Maybe. I don't know. He looked way bigger here than he did in his Mikey Musumeci match. Again, with parity with Landon Elmore, who's I think is a comfortable 45er here.
Yeah.
So Harrison takes the second round. I'm like, okay, cool. He's figured out how Landon wants to enter. He's figuring out how to shut that down. Landon didn't really get any good entries in the second round, and then the third round comes along, and Landon Elmore shoots like a pretty naked super duck or a duck under.
Yeah.
And Harrison just goes, cool, and just launches a guillotine.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, the best submission offense of the entire round. Just launches it up, sits on it for not too long, gets to mount with it, gets on top, gets out, and then continues back to what he was doing in that first round. And I think with that submission offense and the counter on the guillotine there, and then, the round expires, very cleanly takes those 2 rounds. It was 29-28.
It looks like he normally competes at either 64 kilos or 70 kilos.
Oh, so I'm completely wrong then.
So he is.
So maybe that 35 was a cut down for him to get there.
It was probably that, and it was also a week of filming because all those everything was filmed in like a short period of time. So
for the UFC Road to BJJ thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. He looked good. I'm curious how the Kingsway team will change Landon Elmore's training. Because Landon Elmore's young. He's a purple. He's like 19 or something.
Yeah.
He's a 19-year-old purple belt. He's been able to kill pretty much everyone he runs up against with his leg lock game.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of like a young Gordon.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey man, he's just killing out with leg locks, and if you can't stop it, he gets you. And then he runs into a guy like who's the big man? Studio 540, Penna. Like Penna, like kind of can knock it leg locked and figure out how to deal with him. This I think on a different stage is kind of guessing what Landon Elmore's trajectory will be of like, yep, you now like have run into a guy that's a top level guy that can shut down what you want to do for your entries, and now you're going to have to diversify the other pieces of your game. Well, now you're going to be left in the dust.
You're also now a known quantity where he was doing in some of the earlier tournaments.
Who is 6 months ago?
Who is
this guy?
Yeah, he was not a known quantity, and now he is.
Right. So again, I think it's a really interesting benchmarking match for Landon Elmore because it's like Landon Elmore just seems like he didn't have a lot of like secondary options once Harrison started pressuring down, getting away from the legs, and like once Harrison started shutting down the two entries that Landon really wanted, and keeping his legs in the right position and tacking down the way he should to block those two entries. It was pretty clearly for Harrison.
Yeah.
So again, this will be one that I'm guessing the Kingsway team will go back and make adjustments to kind of where Elmore's game is. Sorry.
That's okay. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah. Sorry. Rich was asking about the dog. He's like, did you feed him at 6 o'clock? I was like, I did not feed him at 6 o'clock. Sorry, keep going. I can't figure out how to use my phone. Apparently, I go silent.
Anyways,
so Harrison looked good. I don't know where you take Harrison from here because, like, you're probably not going to 35 now. We've already seen the Mikey match. There's nothing that indicates to me that goes any differently. And then
maybe you start building out a 45 division.
I wouldn't hate it. Again, Harrison seems like a known staple now.
Bring Jalen up. Maybe Jalen will go to 45.
I'd watch that. That'd be super fun, actually.
You know.
Another 35er goes to 45 and then comes back down. Yeah. I want to see more 45ers brought in. You have everyone at 66 kilos that'll be willing to make the cut down to get there.
Yeah.
Bring Crownston in.
What?
Bring Crownston in.
Oh, yeah, true.
He's going to have a match on Polaris. He's going to fight that Polaris qualifier for the title.
Yeah.
Because he's had the title for a while at Polaris. I would love to see that. So... very good match for Harrison. Harrison looked good. It's good to see him kind of get back in the win column here.
And it was good to see him have adequate defense all around.
Yeah, that was nice to see that. Like
we completely thought that his defense wouldn't be there,
and we were wrong. Yeah, it is really cool to be wrong about that. It's like, oh shit, Harrison Gabriel actually has like really good defense because Landon has beaten most people pretty easily with leg locks. So Harrison is like, okay, this makes sense why he's a top of the heap guy because. Like, Landon Elmore couldn't put him away like he has everyone else. So that was cool. Next, we had Carol Bernasio defeating Mona Bailey. Unanimous decision. Pretty clean and clear there. Anything on that?
Nope.
Jalen Fonacier defeats Babito Carlos Oliveira with heel hook. 19 seconds in round one. It's Jalen Fonacier. How'd they say it? How are they saying it? Fonacier? They said
it a couple different ways.
Jalen.
Yeah.
Dude's really good. It's a 19-second heel hook. Fastest in the history of the UFC BJJ versus Babito. Babito's also very good.
Yeah.
He's not going to fight Mikey, so you're in a weird spot where I think, honestly, going up.
Yeah.
You're now on that shortlist for the title, and if you're not going to fight Mikey at 35,
then you got to go up to 45.
You got to go up to 45, and you got to do basically what like DC did with Kane.
Yeah.
Who's out of prison now.
I saw that.
You had to do that where it's like, oh, I got to go down in weight.
Yeah.
If you're going to be that guy, and then when you leave or retire or whatever, then I can go up in weight. But, I think Jalen has to go to 45 if he's not going to fight Mike for the title with a performance like this over Babito.
Yeah.
Like.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, go to 45, man. Fight Harrison. I would love to see it. we can see how good Harrison's leg lock defense is versus another Mikey guy.
Yeah.
So that's it. Again, it had good moments overall. It was not the strongest card from UFC BJJ. Some of the matches were, some of the guys that they select here, I don't think have the most exciting games. And I think they have a weird mix on the roster of super exciting finishers and very, very good grapplers that don't tend to bring a huge level of action, which is weird. But regardless, anything else?
Nope. That's it.
All right, let's move on to, let me see your note here, the second ADCC trials for Europe, the ADCC European and African trials. Where do you want to start with this one?
It doesn't matter where we start.
This was fun. I liked this trials. We were going to cover this trials next week, but honestly, it was entertaining enough where the UFC went way longer than I thought it was going to go. But hey, we're in the trenches now. Let's start it off with plus 99 kilos, Haisam Rida. I think this is the first trials we've seen Haisam Rida do, and I always thought that was due because I think when he was living in Japan, I don't know how much this is public, I thought it was a visa thing.
I don't know.
He had a problem with the visas to get over to do the trials or something. I don't know what it was. I understood it for somewhere to be like a visa.
Because he's from Ghana, right?
Yeah.
He's Ghana.
I always want to make him Angolan, but he's Ghana.
He's Ghana.
But dude, Jesus, man. Go back and watch the supercut that Flo put together of Haisam Rida at trials. It's a lot of kind of not playing possum, but him just kind of wait, and then just torpedoes the guy.
Yeah.
And if you've seen him at ADCC, submission of the year 2022 versus Cyborg.
Or you've seen him run after the guy that broke into his car.
Yeah, man. Oh, my God. That.
and
then they show the kids. He just has a phenomenal feeling for like running and gunning for the sub. He's versus Aiden Woodley with plus 99 kilos here.
Yeah. Aiden Woodley's a pretty solid like UK brown belt. Mm-hmm. Been competing for a while. I found a thing where he actually broke his tib and fib, like in a match.
Ooh.
Like both. At like either blue or purple belt. Ooh. Like I don't remember which one.
And still doing it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
He's like a fitness guy.
Oh, nice.
So, but he was solid. Like he wasn't letting Rita in. He wasn't letting him get the underhooks or the overhooks. He was
until
he did. Until it was too late.
Haisam Rida. I love, man, the judo background that Haisam Rida has all the time in Japan. Big ass Harigoshi that he hits over both legs and then immediately to the back and Rida could choke. And it was like, oh, there it is. That's the entire match.
Yep.
Go back and watch the run that Haisam had because Flo has every match cut up. And it is the Haisam Rida that we always kind of want to see, just every match. So, again, I'm looking forward to seeing Haisam at plus 99. He's exciting. I like watching him. And so I like this. When he's on, I love the submission offense that he puts up.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
Let's move on to under 99 kilos, Mohamed Usarov versus Owen O'Flanagan.
So Mohamed Usarov, like the name that when you go into, not flow, but
Topology?
No, because it was in smooth comp. When you go into smooth comp, it's in a different script, so it's not easily read. And then that was the name.
It's in Cyrillic?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's the name that came up like under his name.
Mohamed Usarov.
But I think it's not. I think it's Mohamed. I don't think it's Mohammed.
Okay.
I think they put Mohammed in there, but I think it's Mohamed.
Mohamed Usarov.
And because that guy is like an MMA fighter that did the Asian circuit.
Okay, so the name's wrong in flow, essentially.
Yeah. Aiga kind of stuff. I think
because his name looks familiar.
Yeah,
that name looks familiar.
I think it's an error with how they put his name into
smooth comp.
Okay,
which makes sense.
Or not smooth comp, but
flow.
In
like flow arena. In the flow arena.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But I could be wrong with that too. But yeah, it's Ian takes the -1 to sit, which I kind of get.
This will come up. This will come up later.
If you go against a gentleman that has that many V's and syllables in their name, then maybe you decide that that's what you want to do.
Any man that has that specific beard, you're like, I'm going to pull guard here?
Yeah. Except for Mikey Musumeci had that beard.
He did all of a sudden out of nowhere.
And I was like, where's the beard come from?
Is rocking like the like the
like Eastern European
European fighter beard, which isn't a great look.
Nah,
for
it wasn't.
Beard,
it wasn't really a good look for him. It didn't do well for
It was
him.
very. It kind of took the baby face away, which was very funny. I'm like, oh, you're like a professional athlete, like title holder. Oh shit.
But
moving on.
But anyway, this match.
This was just. I think I want to talk about just. I don't. The match was whatever. I care about the finish. Usarov is pressuring forward and trying to smash down Owen's single leg X hook, and Owen is not about that.
Yeah.
And Owen is flexible enough, and actually not flexible enough, because you see him have to like pull his own leg in forward, and then.
But that's still flexibility.
It is flex. Yeah, it's there's like a tensile. It's like tensile flexibility versus like dynamic flexibility. There's some term for it, but basically he can't do it. He has to pull his own leg like a jailbreak through, and it was interesting because I think Usarov, obviously makes an error here, because generally speaking, when this happens, is what he's trying to do is he's trying to pressure down hard enough so that Owen cannot get his leg reaped across, or get the foot to the hip for single leg X, essentially.
But you also don't want to stretch your leg out. So you also, like, when he pulls that leg around, you need to almost push into the leg and then take the foot off your hip and get that out.
There's a couple of ways that you have to do this, and the problem is that Usarov is pushing forward so hard.
You also have, O'Flanagan's a lot stronger. Like, he's a strong man.
Yeah, dude's at under 99 kilos, and we always kind of forget.
Dude's like jacked, and he just doesn't. He doesn't look like
he's kind of gangly and odd looking.
Yeah,
and then you see him take a shirt off, and you're like, oh, you're like one of the best dudes. Yeah. You're like one of the best grapplers in the world. Okay.
So but like you're saying, if you're pushing in that hard, you get like kind of
once the leg comes across, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And so because Usarov is pushing in so hard, but he's not pushing it hard enough to actually stop the leg from coming in. It's like it's fine to push in that hard for the knee cut.
He also did like he dropped in.
Yeah.
Like he was standing and did the little like boop, I'm gonna drop into it and grab it.
It works unless the foot comes across.
Yeah.
As soon as the foot comes across, like you are just at the wrong range, and Owen immediately pops through, gets the knee bar heel hook kind of combo entry underneath that he has hit so many times, and that's it. But it was just like an interesting technical error on top.
It was like 2 seconds to the end.
It was right at the end.
Yeah.
It was an interesting like technical error from Usarov on the top there of like, oh, you just couldn't distance manage that well enough and keep that foot from across because you're pushing and trying to pull him in, as opposed to addressing that foot coming across, and now you're at the wrong range because the foot has come across, and there just isn't a shot with a guy like Owen to get out of this. So it was neat. Again, playing the -1 game is it's a way to do it.
It happens
but
sometimes.
He gets it done.
It doesn't always. It's not always a good thing.
Let's talk about.
Let's talk about the fact they had drones. Did you see the drones flying around? Because at one point I was like, aliens! Because you just see it like go across the screen. And I was like, what the hell is happening?
So I was looking up a bunch of drone regs I've been trying to get my Part 107 license in the U.S. here for like 5 years. And I just can't read METARs and TAFs. It's like 2 pieces of the test that I just like can't get my head around. I'm just like lazy about it. I just like, I'll look it up and I'll figure it out. And I won't take the FAA exam. So this is not relevant at all to any of this.
So
you can fly drones in buildings.
Yes.
Yeah, so
he was like interested in the drones. But let's go down.
No, we're plus now here. Now we can go to 88, and then we'll go to 77.
Yeah, we have to go to where the -1 screwed.
Okay. So we're gonna skip 88 kilos here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go to under 77 kilos. Taylor Perriman versus Nikolay.
It would have been if we didn't get sidetracked with the drones, which I started. It would have been a nice transition.
It would have been a nice transition. Match. So Owen O'Flanagan, the pull doesn't matter because he gets the sub.
Yeah.
Taylor pulls, gets the -1.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, he's finished the trials before, getting all of the same heel hook over and over again. He intends to do the same thing again at 77 kilos this time, not at 88 kilos like he did last time. At 77, where the guys are a little better.
Yeah.
This frustrates. I like Taylor. Taylor, I think, is one of the best dudes in the world. And so this was really frustrating for me because you could see in this match that Taylor is the better grappler.
Yeah.
He was like playing it well. The entries that he was hitting.
Let's say it this way. he may be better in the positions that we saw them in.
Yeah,
Let's say it that
that's
way.
what I mean. I'm not
Because-
meaning to take away from Nikolai.
Because Nikolai is like a world champion. He's just not like he does.
World Pro.
Yeah, he
ADCC
does
BJJ and World Pro.
Yeah, and he does a bunch of things.
Sorry, not to discount the skill, but it was if you take no score in this match, and if you just look at how the guys played it, which again you're in ADCC, how you play it is very contingent on that rule set. Taylor is the guy putting up most of the offense, most of the work. Like he's almost passing, he's getting to play.
Yeah.
Like he is putting Nikolai in places where Nikolai has to like actively be defending positional work and sub work. Nikolai is holding his own, putting up his own offense. But that -1, they end at no score.
Yep.
Taylor loses because Nikolai, there's been no score, and he doesn't have the -1. He has defended all the leg locks, all the positional work, all the passing, back takes. Like he's defended it all, and because he is up on score, because Taylor pulled,
and he's kept enough activity.
Yeah, he's never penalized.
Yeah.
He's been in the match. He's been doing exactly what he needs to be doing, and he's been winning the match, the entire match, because Taylor has -1.
Yeah.
And so again, you're winning. You have no need. All you have to do at that point is stop what Taylor's doing.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, at the highest levels, you don't want to play just defensively because that's a recipe to lose. But Nikolai plays this exactly as he should. He is active. He's doing good work. Doesn't score. My frustration with this comes into because we know how good Taylor is, and from the activity that he puts up, he easily could have won this match. He does the thing in trials. ADCC is an interesting rule set because in every other round of ADCC, you can pull a guard and you're fine.
Yeah.
And then in the finals, which it's a rule I like, the match is like 2 minutes longer usually. So you go from 6-minute matches to 8-minute matches.
Yeah.
The first 4 minutes of the match are no points, and then the last 4 minutes of the match are points. If you pull guard in the finals, you get a negative. You get a negative point. It's not a penalty technically; it's a negative point. But the no scoring system can show that, so they always show it as a penalty. You get a negative point, and so it forces you, if you're in a finals match, to show you can wrestle. To be able to wrestle.
against. He actually was an ACB JJ in December of this year and went against Oliver Tazo and won.
Yeah, he's really good.
So yeah,
I always saw that match.
Yeah. Nikolai's been around for a bit. He is in a circuit that we don't get to watch a lot because it's just not available as much.
Yeah,
ACBJJ
has got hard to cover. After they went away and came back, they got really hard to cover. Because again, a lot of it is like a Russian-based broadcast now, whereas before they were doing a lot of like cross-broadcast English, and then it's just not that way anymore. But my point for the poll is,
sometimes it can screw you over.
Well, Taylor's really good, and Nikolai knows, and Taylor's like trying to do a thing where he gives him his leg. He puts the leg like essentially in the center of his legs to get single leg down.
Nikolai also has instructionals on leg attacks.
Yeah, Nikolai's he's good.
So he knows it's not like he doesn't know what Taylor Perman is or Pearman. I always try to put an L in there for whatever reason. Is like trying to do to him, and he's able to kind of stay in front of it and just kind of ride it out. And then I think also when they switch position and Nikolai takes the bottom, then it's like he knows how Taylor wants to kind of attack. So it's easier for him to kind of be there to stay active enough to attack to not get the -1 against yourself, but at the same time not allow Taylor to really have anything.
He plays it exactly as he should. Again, I'm not in my earlier comments. I'm not trying to take anything away from the way Nikolai played this.
Yeah.
It was just frustrating to me because in my eyes, it's not an error. It's not a way that Taylor at this level should be losing, because I think he has shown us that he is better than that error. And he tries to make Nikolai take him down. Nikolai won't take him down. And so after like 30 seconds of it, he just pulls.
Yeah.
And it's like you're just giving the negative because you're so confident you're going to get the sub.
And it almost looked like he was trying to play it off as like he was being taken down when he fell. Because I was like, is that what is it?
Yeah.
Because he kind of touched him and then kind of like fell over. He kind of pulled like, the soccer the fallout from soccer. That's kind of what
ADCC is just not going to give that to you, especially in a finals at a big event like trials. So again, I wish that Taylor would have like done this in a way like, hey man, do this as your leg, like do something like work for your own take. There are other ways in ADCC, like Mo talks about it a lot. Like there are ways we've seen guys like, hey man, take a bad shot and then drive it for 3 seconds and then pull and you're good to go. Like there are ways to get down that don't give you the -1. And I would have liked to see Taylor in ADCC
or
here.
learn to wrestle.
Yeah. But I mean,
learn one takedown.
Even again, you're not gonna. I think you're gonna take down Nikolai. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
But also, like to just have to take the -1 here is like there's so many other avenues, and Taylor's good enough where I think that he could have had a different way to do this and not just given the -1. And it's just frustrating to see an error like at this level when you know a guy is so good. Yeah. That was my kind of overarching point. Taking nothing away from Nikolai. I'm excited to see him at the World Championships. But it's just odd to see a guy like Taylor at this level lose to the -1 because we see it almost every other trials now. Yeah. Like it's still a thing that we see from the best guys in the world consistently having that problem where it's like they give up the -1. Yeah. And it's just odd to me at this level we've seen it for this long. So that's my rant over.
They go to 88.
Let's go to 88 kilos. We have Faris Ben Lakadem versus Marlon Tajik. This one was both exciting and not exciting, but I actually had a really fun time watching this matchup.
There are a few like little spurts that gets very exciting. Yeah. And then there's a lot of like nothing. And then there's like spurts, nothing.
There's like a bunch of nothing. Big homie trying to take it off the mat. And that is essentially what this match is like.
And
nothing.
The big homie's trying to take it off the mat. Like a couple times the resets, I'm like, really? You're gonna give him? They gave him at one point the position that we start in, and it's the worst position ever. It's like the one knee down, like you're in on a double, but like you're static in on a double. Like it's like that. I
was actually really impressed from Marlon there because Faris starts in that position, and Marlon counters it out to top position on it, and then scrambles out. Nothing happens from it. But it was there was a couple of restarts here where I was like, damn, that was a really good restart. And then right at the end, Faris almost gets the final score, doesn't get the score, and then Marlon takes it. This is one again, not a lot happens in this match, but enough happens in this match.
And I think Marlon had not instigated, but he initiated a lot of the action, and he was in the favorable side in a lot of exchanges.
I think that's what wins him this is the initiation. Like I think when Faris gets in on less stuff, but is potentially a little more successful. Yeah.
But Marlon gets like snatch singles like twice, and he gets them like clearly. Yes. Like Faris doesn't really try to do anything to get. The third one is Faris just kind of like walks out of. I don't know if Faris, the first two, he's just not fighting and he's just okay going to the bottom. If that's
there's no time.
If that's if that's the situation that's going on, and then the third one, that's how he gets out of it so easily. But Marlon also, he took third place at the first trials. He lost to Santiri, who wound up winning the trials. So.
No, didn't Santiri lose to Paulo?
He lost to Paulo like second for third place. That's he lost to Paulo. Santiri lost to Paulo.
Yeah.
So maybe, he lost to Santiri. I know that. Yeah.
I know. Santiri took third because he lost, or second or third because he lost to Paulo.
Yeah. Okay. Santiri lost to Paulo.
But this was fun, honestly. If you're curious about how ADCC does scoring, watch this because I think there's some stuff to learn here. I think Marlon is the one that should get this. Yeah. But it is a close enough match that it is interesting to watch.
There's also a couple times, but it's before points are awarded where Faris is like, he's almost mounted, but he's also on his side. So it's like, not really a position where you're going to get points on at that point. But you're also before the point period.
I think from an academic perspective, it's an interesting match to watch. And again, I don't know much from Marlon. I'm much more familiar with Faris. Yeah. So it'd be cool to see. You should watch Marlon prior to him going to Worlds. Yeah. So it'll be fun. Anything else on it?
Nope.
Let's move on to the last men's division. We have Yigit Hane versus Kostelin Zayananov.
Yeah. Konstantin is 16 years old. And you can tell.
Oh, is he that young?
You can tell that, that's what his profile said. And you can tell that he is 16 years old.
Oh, you have a note here for it.
The way that's exactly where it is.
Dude, because every other match, I spent forever.
No, that one doesn't show up. So
Yep.
I had to find it. And then it gets complicated because it also, you don't know, there's no points because they haven't put the overlay up. So then I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
You're guessing. There's a walkout.
Yeah.
The walkout is the only thing that told me what match it was. So this is, if you're looking for this match, if you look at ADCC, European and Australian trials, wait.
Yeah.
The second trials for 2026, if you look at the mat 3 footage, it starts at about 47 minutes.
Yeah.
That's when this match starts because it's every other match for the entire event is parted out. This match, for some reason, is not has not been selected out yet to be findable. Just FYI.
Well, and the other thing is, if you go to Smooth Comp, which was how I was trying to figure out, it says it's on mat 2, but mat 3 was the camera that they used for
the finals
matches. And they run them, and they run them all together, so they run them back to back from that point on.
Because I think what was her name? Inja Goodman is a match prior to that or something.
Yeah.
And so I see her, I was like, oh, Inja's there with her final versus Anna Svensson. Okay, I can find Yigit's match here on this map.
Yeah.
So welcome to the investigative work that we have to do to find these matches sometimes. This was
Konstantin was winning. He was winning so much of this match, and then I think he just gassed out. Like I think he was trying so hard and so many shots and so many like angles and trying to get Yigit
Konstantin.
down. I think it's Konstantin.
Oh, that makes way more sense than how I pronounced
right?
that. Kostintin.
There's no N, so it's not like a Constantine, but it's like Constantine.
But I don't know what I said.
But like he's shooting, he's creating angles to get behind him, he's trying to take him down. And Yigit is more like defending, but he's doing enough to not be stalling.
It's good defense.
But
he's active, he's in there.
But he's actively defending everything. And then it's kind of like I would like to know the timing for this match because what I think happens.
Yeah, we're just looking at a match only. There's no overlay.
But I don't know. But what I think happens is Yigit waits the entire no points period and he kind of defends the entire time there. And then I think as soon as it gets to scoring, that's when he picks it up. And then that's when like everything goes and he starts kind of doing more action. Mm-hmm. And then they go into overtime, I think, because they don't stop matches for overtime. At a really weird point, they just stand him back up and bring him to the center, and then they say something to him, and they start again on their feet.
Yeah.
My assumption is that means that was overtime.
That's usually how they do overtime.
But I'm not positive.
Because overtime's not continuous. Yeah. They like stop you and they reset you for
and it was the guy with the little haircut that's been doing ADCC forever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
The referee is they're going to talk about?
Yeah, the guy with the hair.
Since like the 2000s,
referee? Yeah, that guy.
I know his name and I can't come up with his name.
And so he does everything very like by the book. So I could see him
what
doing
you want from a referee.
Yeah, very quickly. And Yigit gets 2 from a takedown. And then kind of gets to the back. I don't know if he gets points for that or not.
I would have. I think I scored this when I was watching it for back mount.
Yeah.
But again, it was kind of hard. It's hard with the overlay. And it's hard for kind of the angle. We have a low angle.
But it's enough.
I can't really see.
It's enough action to know that there were points scored against him.
Yes.
And that Yigit wins. Though Konstantin put up a fight. Yeah, there was a reason why he made it to finals, but I think he just gassed. I think he just hit a point. It was either that or Yigit was holding back until he got to a point where and
then just hit the gas.
And then he hit the gas.
So that was fun. That's all the men's divisions. Luckily, it is the second trial, so we have a women's qualifier.
Yep.
Finally. So the ladies' matches will start at 55 kilos. We had Anna Mayadromo, who won the first trials.
Yep.
And then in classic fashion, loses the second trials.
Yep.
Which always it always sucks because you watch women do so well, win the first trials. I'm like, yeah, okay, they should win the second trials. Yeah. And then they make it to finals, and then Jeanette Glogger comes on and goes, this is the trials that matters. I'm gonna take this one.
And Janet is training at AOJ right now.
That's where she is.
Yeah, she's at the AOJ.
I was not. I looked at her name and I was not immediately familiar with who she was.
I wasn't either. It looked like she was more of a European-based grappler, and then at some point recently, she's went over to AOJ and she started training there. So I don't think she's done a lot of black belt matches so far. She might even still be a brown belt. She's at that kind of point where she hasn't just had a lot of exposure.
There's not a lot of like information on her online.
Yeah.
This was great. Again, the final. You have some earlier notes here.
Yeah. Anna's trying to get into the legs, and Janet just kind of gets past her. She forces Anna into like a turtle. She passes it and then jumps her back.
The turtle, like it's like a side turtle.
Yeah.
And then I was really impressed with the speed that Janet just like, she kind of dumps the leg and then just pops over and immediately fires the choke in and like knuckles down on the choke. And I was like, oh, she is gunning for this. And we have a really good angle to see it. And I went, oh, this is like in.
Yeah.
This is like, and you see Janet just gun down for it, taps Anna, and just very, very impressive tap. Again, because we know how good Anna is.
Yeah.
And so it was, with how good she's been, how good she has looked at all the trials.
Yeah.
Wins the first one, medals at North American trials. Did she win or second place? Second place at that one.
Who?
Anna.
She won the first trials.
For North America, though. She was at North America. Did she get second, I think?
I don't remember that.
I think she loses to 55. Was it Mo? Who was
no,
45?
it was like a 65er.
I'm completely blanking who won 55 at North America, the first North American trials that I was at. I am looking at the podium and I cannot get there right now.
I'm looking right now.
Again, so it was just a very, very impressive finish from a woman I'm not super familiar with, but she is going to the world.
She got first place in ADCC North American East Coast Trials.
Okay, so she did win first place.
She won East.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I knew she was in the finals, and I thought she had won, but I was like, that wasn't correct. Yeah, man, she's good.
Yeah.
So it was cool. Again, I don't know who Janet is, but super impressive, and happy to see her at the World Championships now. Next match, under 65 kilos, we had Inja Goodman versus Anna Svensson. Inja won the first trials for the women.
And she wins the second trials.
She wins the second one.
My comment is funny because Inja goes to take Svensson down, and Svensson goes to like grab a false reap in the takedown and takes a head knock, like full face plant into the mat. And I was like, ooh, painful grab at that. Like, it did not look comfortable.
Painful grab.
Painful grab at false reap. Yeah, because, like, she grabs it, but, like, I mean, she took a face plant to try to hold that position. Yeah. But, yeah, Inja passes and gets on the back and belly down triangles and then, rear naked choke attempts.
Good. She really, it's just a body triangle from the back.
Yeah.
Or not body triangle from the back for some of this, and then just hooks in. Rear naked choke attempts for most of this match. Yeah. Svensson gets up to the feet one point, and I thought she was going to shut Goodman off, but never gets there.
Yeah, and she never is able to really get and a tap to any of the rear naked choke attempts, but she gets the points for the back.
Yeah,
the back.
And so it's very
said
clear.
Back exposure, and I was like, that's the wrong
different sport.
Talking about a different sport.
Inja takes this very, very cleanly over Anna Svensson. Moving on to 65 kilos, we have Nia Blackman versus Annabelle Lopez. This is a pretty slow-paced match overall. There's really two big pieces of activity here. It's Nia Blackman trying to counter sort of a takedown with a fall off the top armbar into the guard, and then Annabelle Lopez just sort of keeps pressuring forward, passing, kind of looks for a foot, trying to pass. Nia's playing some guard, but never really gets even close to a sweep. And doesn't even really look like she's starting to look for a sweep.
Yeah.
She was kind of just playing an open guard, retaining. And then Annabelle Lopez is not super aggressive with the passing, either double unders or knee cut. And then it's some hand fighting and then a little more guard work, and that is the match. I think Annabelle Lopez takes this mostly on activity. Overall, it wasn't a super impressive performance. It was just generally a well-managed match from both women.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of notes. Any other notes?
No.
Yeah, that was the match. So that was the second European and African trials.
It was fun.
It was fun. It's exciting. It is. It was fun. I'm happy we got a chance to talk about it this week. Next week, We are going to be previewing the UFC.
Nope, the IBJJF.
The IBJJF UFC ACBJJ Crown of Thorns.
Yes.
It's the newest crown that the IBJJF is going to do. Their pro event series, so that'll be fun. We have some good names, so we're going to do a full preview of that
and it's
next week.
Absolute GP?
Yeah.
I believe.
I think it's Absolute GP because there's some fun names announced for it.
Yeah.
The Absolute GPs actually all the GPs, generally speaking, are interesting for their own reasons.
Yeah.
So,
but that's coming up, and then we have some other things probably on the horizon as time goes on.
So it'll be good.
But see the name at under 98, like.
Oh yeah. From
See?
Fight Zone Net, yeah. Mohammed's name.
Yeah.
Is it's in Cyrillic.
Yeah.
Hard Cyrillic, and I don't speak any. I don't understand Cyrillic, so I can't even. Make bones.
And that normally most of the names like autocorrect, or at least there's some kind of correction.
They like translate over to English.
Yeah,
names.
and I guess
but a lot of the Cyrillic names, I think in Smooth Comp don't, because the Smooth Comp can display those characters.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I think. Because it's a Unicode type font.
Yeah.
But regardless,
I just like the fact they have smooth comp, so it's easier to follow
nice.
than you realize.
You can find results.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so annoying.
And it's how I found where the match was, because I was like, okay, it's between this
trying
match
to find
and,
the men's 6-6
it's between
finals
this match and this match. If I can find that one, I can find,
One of the things that I wish that Flow would do better about is you have to Google European trials results to find the Flow link. It is not the results play-by-play write-up isn't linked in the events page. I wish that Flow would overhaul its navigation again, because man, it is just a pain to find stuff in these. And I wish they had the articles for the events more properly tagged and located in the events. I wish I could click to ADCC.
Yeah.
Click by organization, because Flow has no organization side things.
Yeah.
So you have to click event by event, thing by thing, because they're all disparate. I would love to say, hey man, let me just open up Fight to Win and look up all Fight to Win matches. Hey, let me look at all ADCC.
But I think that's also because of the different worlds of Flow.
Yeah.
How many have multiple different outlets, or they have one?
All of them do. They all cover different. They all cover a sport, and they all broadcast way different organizations and sides of those from different leagues.
Yeah.
Like the Cornhole League, there's a bunch of those.
True.
It's just super annoying to continue doing this show for 8+ years now, and still having the same problems we're having of I have to Google the trials results to find the Flow article, because finding it on the Flow website is just a pain in the ass.
I just go to the calendar, and then I go to the calendar of events, and I know what day it is, and then I click it.
But I'm saying the ADCC trials results for European trials, if you click it through the schedule, through that link, you can find the videos there.
Yeah.
But if you look at the articles for that from that schedule link,
it
doesn't have the results
I'm not
going to
be. I don't look at the articles.
Yeah. But I'm saying,
that's me.
It's an article on that event.
I know.
Have it tagged with that event. You've written the article. The article's not a bad article. It's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good results article. It's there for that event. But if I click on that event, the article you wrote about that event isn't in that event. There's 3 other articles there, but there's the boilerplate Watch It on Flow article, which is just remove that at this point. We don't need that. There's just the results article after the event, after your major trials event for your biggest or second biggest or your first biggest thing you broadcast on, isn't available on the events website. So it's just frustrating me. So that's my rant of the episode, as per usual. Miranda, any closing thoughts on the day? Anything fun coming up for you?
I'm going to Texas tomorrow. So I'm in Texas all week.
You train at all or no?
Probably. I'm going to take stuff with me, but it all depends on my schedule once I get out there.
Taking a gi or no?
Probably not. I probably don't have the space to put a gi. That's my problem.
I do sometimes. I'm going down to Virginia.
I already have to carry a scanner and all that kind of crap. And I don't want to check any bags, because Philadelphia International Airport takes 5 million years to get your checked luggage. So I refuse to check bags. So a week in business attire and everything, I have to fit it all in that one bag.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't have space for a gi.
I could do some drive travel to Virginia and a couple different places in Virginia coming up, and I'm gonna hope I'm probably.
That's different. When you're driving, you can shove everything in the back of your car.
I'm bringing gis. It's gonna be a fun old time for me down in wherever, like Richmond area. It's like it's just far enough where I'm getting hotels because you can't make the drive and work all day. But it's just close enough to be like close enough to my wife where like I'm kind of sad.
Yeah.
So that's that. I got nothing else going on, Miranda. You got anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. As always in the show, I'm your host, Mange, with the co-host,
Miranda.
And we got the Grappling Reruns, so no matter what it is, stay safe. If you like the show, please consider sharing it on Facebook with the folks at your gym. It's the best way that we grow the show, and we really appreciate it. You can reach out to us on email.
We also have Instagram. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We have Google+.
Until that shuts down.
We have a website.
If you have an event you would like to have us cover, please let us know. If you have a name, like most people do, and you'd like to have us stop butchering it,
let us know.
Reach out to us. The show is also available on YouTube, Spotify, in addition to iTunes and every other podcast service. We very much appreciate your time, and thank you.